So you just finished watching Chainsaw Man episode 2, and I know what you're thinking. Is Denji a simp? Who is the best girl and why is it Aki? Is having sex with a fiend necrophilia? And what is the optimal way to kick a man in the balls? There will be no spoilers past episode 2 and chapters 2 to 5, since that's what the anime adapted. First thing I should mention is that the anime actually cuts out some stuff in the manga, since adapting 3.5 chapters in 22 minutes faithfully isn't really possible. Luckily, the things that are cut out aren't really important in the grand scheme, except for the corn dog. That was really important, at least to me. We start the episode with a rumbly tumbly. After killing an entire clan of Yakuza zombies, Denji worked up an appetite. Now here's the biggest question you might be asking. How come no one in this car is wearing a seatbelt? Because, culturally, Japanese people don't like wearing seatbelts in the back seat. And it was only until 2008 where Japan made a law to force people in the back to wear seatbelts. But Satumi, that was over 10 years ago. Times have changed. Exactly. But this doesn't take place in 2022. How would we know? Because no one has a cell phone. Also, Tokyo looks really old. Anyways, Ronald McDonald has a weird pet fetish and threatens to kill Denji if he doesn't play along. Now this is the biggest change from the manga. And I'm gonna be honest, this part doesn't really make sense without the context of the Muscle Devil, because here she threatens him after saving his life. But in the manga, she threatens him after acting all nice. And I think they should have just removed this scene entirely for more power filler, since they go over the same stuff in the episode later, and it seems like the only reason this scene exists is to appease the woofers. Ginger Mommy wants to stop by for food, and the first thing Denji thinks of is that he has no money. He doesn't even consider the possibility that she would buy him food, because she threatens to kill him! Denji was never shown much charity or kindness. Then again, he's a weird-looking blonde boy with f***ed-up teeth living in Japan. Actually, that's no excuse. Nobody should be treated like shit, especially a kid. But that's the world he lives in. But luckily, Redhead offers to buy Denji food. And Denji, never experiencing kindness, wants to make sure that this isn't a prank, bro. And not seeing the obvious camera in front of him, he lets his guard down. And now he's in love. Now you might be wondering, is food the way to a man's heart? Yes, absolutely. Why do you think I'm so pissed off that MAPPA didn't adapt the fucking corn dog? Anyways, Denji, unable to control his chainsaw powers, ended up cutting himself, causing him to lose a lot of blood. Even though Denji's body is completely healed, the actual blood in his body doesn't regenerate. I think. I mean, that would explain why devils need to consume actual blood to get it back / heal. But he uses that opportunity to fall into Bridget's chest. Smooth, man. Oh my god. Anyways, Mary Jane asks Denji to recap episode 1. So he does. And she confirms that Denji's case is very rare. So rare that there isn't even a name for what Denji is. But with her really good nose, she smells that Puchita is alive inside Denji. Well, she confirms that he is both human and devil. Denji snorts the cocaine on his wrist and passes out. Then Scarlet Witch orders her goons to take the unconscious Denji, lay him out on the bench, rest his head on her thighs so that when he wakes up, he gets a good look at her new mommy milker implants that MAPPA paid for. So Denji wakes up and asks for permission to eat his food. How very polite. Amaranth offers to feed him, and Denji says yes, living the dreams of a Redditor. Finally, Denji asks for her name. Makima. Thank God I was running out of porn tags. Denji asks the all-important question, what kind of guy does Makima like? And she replies, Denji-kun mitaina hito. Now, depending on who you are, that can either be seen as playful flirting or manipulation. But there's definitely a sussy power dynamic going on right now. Now for the question, is Denji a simp? Hell nah, this boy has done absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, Makima bought him food, fed him personally, flirts with him, and she made him rest on her thighs. She's also very touchy. She's the simp, putting all this effort to get him to like her, although Denji is a sub to Makima's dom at this moment. Meanwhile, Denji has really bad posture, and that reminds me, all of you watching right now, let's do a posture check. Sit up straight. Now you might be wondering, is he a simp now? And the answer is no. He's just horny. Denji and Makima arrive in Tokyo, specifically the HQ, for the Devil Hunters, a nice government-funded program where Devil Hunters get lots of paid day offs and the best benefits packages that I paid for, you corporal leeches. Now you might be wondering, wow, these Devil Hunters have it good. Maybe I should be one too. But I should also mention that most devils look like this, and that's a tomato. So unless you can beat Elden Ring without dying, your devil hunting career might be short-lived. But luckily, you'll be paired with the best and beautiful. And his name is Aki Hayakawa. Now, Denji wants to be with Makima, but she's gotta be a girl boss somewhere else. So Aki forces Denji to go on patrol with them. But Makima promises to reward Denji if he is a good boy. Anyways, Denji asks the real questions. Like, is Makima single? Aki responds by taking Denji into a back alley, and they both have some hot, steamy... Oh wait, no. He just beats the shit out of Denji. Aki then gives unsolicited advice that Denji should quit, stating that most devil hunters who join for shallow reasons end up dying. Aki then asks if Denji wants to date Makima, and Denji confirms.
Ping pong.
Aki seems to get really offended when someone tries to hit on Makima. He exhibits some classic white knight behavior trying to defend his maiden's honor, and people think Denji's the simp. Anyways, Denji yells, "Let go of my purse!" and kicks Aki in the balls. Now let's take a moment to look at Denji's nut shot. This moment right here makes Denji stand out over most shonen protagonists. You see, there's this unwritten rule in fighting where you never go for the balls. That's why Naruto has to use his words to defeat his enemies when he can easily just kick people in the dick. Nut shots are not life-threatening, but it's very embarrassing and emasculating. So here's how to kick someone in the nuts to do the most damage. First of all, make sure you hit the balls and not the penis, because a flaccid penis is on a hinge, and if you kick it, it might whip itself back, causing minimal damage. But balls are in the scrotum, so they are trapped. So if you kick that, you are essentially trapping your enemy's balls between a rock and a hard place. And that shit hurts. Number 2, make sure you hit the target directly with the toe of your shoe. The less surface area in your attack, the more concentrated the pain will be. And that's Self-Defense 101 with Satumi the Neet. Hopefully you never have to give a man an organic vasectomy. Remember, this action is very taboo, and Aki, having a traditional sense of honor, would never stoop so low. But Denji is from the streets, and in order to survive, he has learned these techniques. Denji doesn't care about honor. He will continue to kick you in the balls, even when the opponent has been disabled, because Denji found his resolve. He wants to be treated like a normal person, and he will die for that right, or kick you in the nuts. Oh, and he also wants to smash some ginger pussy. Meanwhile, back in the office, a testicle devil has attacked Aki's balls. You know, despite the amount of nut shots Aki took, Denji actually carried him back. Denji's a nice guy, even if society frowns on his actions. Makima looks at these two, and they seem to be very good friends. So she makes Denji join Aki's squad, which is filled with weirdos since its inception. And if Denji ever decides to quit or disobey orders, he'll be put down. Yeah, I know, Aki, that's messed up. I'm pretty sure this violates many child labor laws. Or is it animal cruelty? White Knight Aki doesn't have a choice since he's a sub to Makima. Speaking of subs, why don't you subscribe to the channel and like the video? If you do, you may be eligible for corn dog compensation. Back to Denji, he asks if Makima is a good person, and Aki replies, yes, and she saved his life. But she never gave Aki a hug. How sad. What a simp. Meanwhile, now that Denji has a cushy union job and is living in White Knight Aki's big-ass house that he can afford with his devil hunting salary, Denji is a shitty roommate, which is not surprising. Anyways, a fiend is attacking. So, what are fiends? Good question, uneducated boy from the slums. Fiends are devils that have taken over a human corpse. See, this is a regular devil. They are big and ugly, and this is a fiend, ugly and humanoid. And they usually have something weird on their head. They are considerably weaker because they have to use a human body instead of having their original body. When you have 2 legs in contrast to 8 legs, you tend to be a lot weaker. That's how it works, right? Right, Godric? Anyways, Aki commands Denji to use his devil powers, but Denji says no, and kills the Neet devil quite easily. Aki is annoyed that Denji used an axe instead of his devil form, but Denji explains that killing people with a chainsaw is super painful, and wanted to give the fiend a painless death. This pisses off Aki, who hates devils since he's a racist. I mean, since a devil killed his entire family. And because of that, he wants all the devils to suffer, which is quite ironic that he is letting Denji, who is a half-devil, stay with him. Just more evidence that Aki is a simp for Makima. Man has to give up his own values just to appease her. In contrast, Denji is open-minded and is willing to be friends with a devil because he doesn't have any friends. This touches Aki's black racist heart, and he leaves him alone. Now, there may be some truth to what Denji said based on his previous relationship with Pochita, but we all know that he was in it for the poem, baby! Sexiness confirmed. Denji remembers Pochita's contract. Actually, real quick, the English subs called it a deal, which I guess is more accurate since a contract is usually a written agreement while a deal is a verbal agreement. But the manga uses contract, so I'm going to use the word contract. Anyways, Denji realizes that he has achieved his dream that he was working towards in episode 1. His life is fulfilled, which is kind of sad considering where he came from. Now that he achieved his physiological needs, he needs another goal. Something that he can be serious about and work towards. And what's this goal that Denji wants? Man wants to touch some titties.
Oh man, he just like me, for real, for real.
So now that Denji found his Hokage moment, Makima, on behalf of Aki, decides to pair him with another partner to go on patrols, as all devil hunters work in pairs for safety reasons. But there's a catch. His partner is a fiend, and her name is Power. Power! But most importantly, she got big titties. Hell yeah!
You playing that good Minecraft. I like your Kaji.
Turns out Power is a bit eccentric and quirky. You know what they say, never stick your dick in crazy. Too bad Denji's dad died before he gave him that advice. Anyways, Power is a fiend, but unlike most fiends, Power is special. See, Power is smarter than most fiends, so she's given the opportunity to be a devil hunter. But if the two can't deliver results, then they'll both get fired and then die. Uh-oh. Power smells blood and decides to slit her own wrist and jump off the building to kill herself. Oh wait, wrong reinterpretation. She uses her blood to create a big mallet and hammer bros the sea cucumber devil. Now the question you might be thinking is this. Power is a fiend, so she's also a corpse. So if you got into a relationship with her, would that be considered necrophilia? But she's not rotting like a corpse. But then again, it's not her body. So is there a consent issue? This is what happens when you don't like and comment on my videos. Now I have to say this wild shit to keep your attention instead of doing it subtly like my previous videos. And that's the end of episode 2. With the exception of the first minute, I actually really like this more than episode 1. Denji's dynamic with Aki and Power are a highlight, and I very much enjoy the lighting and coloring of the overall anime. I can live with the muscle devil being gone, but the corn dog being removed is unforgivable. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like for the algorithm devil, leave a comment of what you thought about this episode, and please subscribe for solidarity. I'm going to eat a corn dog in the bathtub. I hope you have a good day. Okay, bye! In an alternate reality, MAPPA would have animated the corn dog, and this is what I would have said. Now back to the corn dog, you might be wondering, how is Makima eating a glizzy important? Well, it shows us how she would treat your glizzy by biting it off and spitting it back in your face. Let's be honest, Makima would give terrible head. She can barely use her tongue to raise her tone of voice. What makes you think she'll give you a sloppy doppy? Makima's blowjobs is like AI art. She tried techniques stolen from others, but her execution would be devoid of any humanity. Bitch has the driest mouth that the moment you put your glizzy in, it's gonna get soft and flat. Okay, you know what? Maybe there isn't anything special about the corn dog, okay? But I bet you this is the only video that analyzes the corn dog in reference to Makima's fellatio technique.
$100円ください。